Hello everyone. So, so today we'll be discussing the data related to the Nabard Phase 2 grade A examination. So this data and the facts can be used directly while writing essay and while also writing ARD and ESI. And this data I have taken from the most authentic sources like Niti Aayog, Budget and Economic Survey of India and various other reports released by the Niti Aayog itself. So first we'll try to see the data related to agriculture, the problems of agriculture and the solutions related to that agriculture. So all these problem solutions were I was going through internet. I found in one of the report. The report name is the Working Group Report 2018. So this committee was initially appointed to study the problems of Indian agriculture and give a solution to double the farmers' income by 2022. And finally, in 2016, it was appointed, and in 2018, after 2 years of study, it was found out the problems in Indian agriculture and also gave solutions accordingly. So we'll try to cover the major highlights that are given in this report, which are under the syllabus of Nabard examination, right? So I have segregated that as per our convenience, as per our syllabus point of view. First, in any exam, as we are talking about Nabard, it is very crucial to understand the role of agriculture in Indian economy. So first we'll see how and why it is important to study and to give importance to the Indian agriculture sector. Agriculture remains a crucial sector for the Indian economy. Although its GDP contribution came down from 30% in 1990s to only 16% in 2024-25, its employment share remained as 47% in the same year 2024-25. Right? So we can see how this contrast in GDP percentage and employment percentage. So in GDP wise, in 2024-25, the share of agriculture is only 16%, whereas its employment share was almost 3 times its share in GDP, around 47%. So that is why it is very important to study, and also the second most important important reason why we need to study about agriculture is more than 65% of the population in India resides in rural areas as per 2011 census, and among this 65%, about 80% of the people's primary source of livelihood is agriculture. So in that way, in that sense also, it is very important to study this scope of agriculture. And we can write this point as well. The experience from BRICS countries, like we have BRICS countries, right? It has indicated that 1% growth in agriculture is 2 to 3 times more effective in reducing poverty than the same growth emanating from non-agriculture sector, right? So that is why how important it is very important to focus on the growth and on the share of contribution in GDP and share of contribution in employment. So it is very important to study this aspect of enhancing the productivity, enhancing the quality of life of farmers, and all these are very, very important. So we can use all these 3 points whenever we feel it necessary. So we can use these 3 data. So first we'll see the problems of agriculture and their solutions given as per the inputs of the agriculture, right? The first and most important input of the agriculture are the seeds. So many studies indicate that use of good quality seeds will increase the productivity by 15 to 20%, and also by increasing the seed replacement ratio of high yielding varieties. So if we use good quality of seeds, or also if we can replace if we can increase this seed replacement ratio with high yielding varieties, our chances of productivity will rise by 15 to 20%, right? So we might have studied in prelims part of view, this seed replacement ratio is replacing the seeds with high yield varieties. For example, in an acre, consider an example, if you are using 1 kg of normal seeds, if you are replacing about 500 grams of this normal seeds, then the seed replacement ratio will be 500 out of 1000. It will be like 50 percentage, right? So if we increase this seed replacement ratio to the maximum, then we can expect the productivity in that case. Okay, so that we can write, by use of good quality of seeds we can increase the productivity by 15 to 20 percentage. Next important input in agriculture is the fertilizer, very very important. So we can see this stat here. India is the world's largest consumer, producer and importer of fertilizer. This point itself, it defines many things regarding the fertilizers. Further, if you go on discussing, the fertilizer NPK demand will be increasing from 25 million tons in 2013-14 to nearly 35 million tons in 2031 and 32, right? So we can see this increase in rise of fertilizer, about 25 million tons in 2013-14 to 35 million tons in 2035. So this demand was there for fertilizers. So if you look at per hectare fertilizer, I mean per hectare how many kg of fertilizer we are using, means in 2013-14 we spent around 125 kg per hectare, and it is going to be 175 kg per hectare in 2031 and 32. And this per kg per hectare, the use of fertilizer was as low as 70 kg per hectare in 1990s. So in 1990s it used to be 70 kg per hectare, and in 2013-14 it used to be 125 kg per hectare, and in 31 and 32 we are expecting it will go up as high as 175 kg per hectare, right? So this is the increasing demand of fertilizers. We also need to see this as a big problem, because we'll talk about fertilizer subsidy in terms of number, then we'll understand, right? And this variation in fertilizer use is also depending with respect to state, right? In some states the fertilizer use is as high as 200 kg per hectare in states like Punjab, Haryana and AP, right? So the ideal NPK ratio we know it is 4:2:1, but in states like Punjab and Haryana it was as high as 19:5:1 and 20:6:1, right? So this is the ground scenario of how much excessively we are using the fertilizers. And in Haryana and Punjab it was more because they are the first one who took advantage of this green revolution in 1960s. So they got habituated to use huge quantity of this NPK so as to get their productivity levels. So but that is not good for soil fertility levels, and the productivity after a point it will start decreasing. So we have to see for other means of sustainable agriculture. Okay, and if you look at this most important point, the India's expenditure on fertilizer subsidy typically ranges from 0.6 to 1% of GDP, right? So this is very very important. About 0.6 to 1% of our entire GDP we are spending alone on the fertilizer subsidy, and yearly 3 to 4% of budget expenditure is spent on fertilizer subsidy, right? Which is more than GERD. GERD means gross expenditure on revenue and development. Combining, it means the combined expenditure that we are spending on research in India by means of IIAs, IITs, IASs, CSIR, everything, it was only 0.6%, but the fertilizer subsidy alone was contributing to 0.6 to 1%. See, it means the total money we are spending on research and development is less than the subsidy we are giving to the farmers in the form of fertilizers. So that is how the situation with respect to fertilizers is. The agri R&D is, and in this case the agriculture R&D is about 1% of agriculture GDP, and this also has to be doubled in next 5 years. It was one of the suggestions given by this working group committee in 2018. And for the year 2023 and 24, the fertilizer expenditure was around 2 lakhs. This 2 lakhs only we are talking about. This is about 0.6 to 1% of GDP and 3 to 4% of average budget expenditure, an average annual budget expenditure. So this is the situation about these fertilizers. So we are giving excess of money, nearly like see 2 lakh crores of money, but we are not getting that required and expected yield productivity from the agriculture, right? So this one point we can write. And so in order to counter these points, the government have taken few initiatives like introducing nano urea liquid, neem coated urea, soil health card scheme, and PM Pranam. If we remember this abbreviation, well and good. If not, we can just directly write PM Pranam. PM Pranam means Program for Restoration, Awareness Generation, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth. And we also have one more important program called as One Nation, One Fertilizer. This is also known as PM BJP, Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana. Under this only the government is giving fertilizer subsidy. Fertilizer subsidy is given under this Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana. So these are the steps taken by the government. Nano urea liquid, neem coated urea we can write, soil health cards to study the overall profile of the soil, and with respect to that we'll add the amount of NPK, and with respect to that we can suggest what type of crop is best suited for this particular soil and all. So that is about a second input of the agriculture, that is fertilizer. Next important input is the credit. For credit we have this interest subvention scheme. So generally the bank will give for 7%, and in that 7% government will pay 3% of subsidy. This scheme is there from long back and it is still being continued. And we also have Kisan credit card, and the limit of Kisan credit has been extended from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs in the earlier budget. This is regarding the credit. And next, another input of livestock is fodder. As per one of the report given by report of Parliamentary Standing Committee, the green fodder is short by 40% and dry fodder is short by 35%, right? So wherever we feel like any data that we need to write with respect to the problems of livestock, right, because livestock is also very important. Among the GVA of the agriculture, 25% of GVA comes from the live sector alone. So the major problems of this live sector is availability of green fodder. It was short by 40% and dry fodder was short by 35%. This was mentioned in one of the report given by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Agriculture. And next we'll look at the another most important input of agriculture is the farm mechanization. First we'll see why it is very important to adapt farm mechanization. Several studies have suggested that use of improved implements increase the productivity by 30% and reduce the cost of cultivation by 20%. When we are using this mechanization, when we are adapting this farm mechanization, the productivity is going to be increased by 30%, and at the same time the cost of labor, the cost of cultivation by indirectly by means of reducing the labor cost, it was around 20%. So that is why it is very important to adapt this farm mechanization. Other important reason why we need to go for farm mechanization is to enhance the productivity of food grains, because in coming years like in 2047 till 2047, in this report they have estimated in business as usual scenario that around 400 million tons of food grains are yet to be consumed by the entire country's population, and as of now we are producing only 350 million tons of food grains. So there is a necessity to increase. We can't go for expanding the land area. So the only possible way is to increase the productivity by means of adapting this farm mechanization. So that is why it is very important to adapt farm mechanization. And the farm mechanization coverage was around 40% in India, and it is as high as 90% in USA, right? It means 90% of USA agriculture in USA is mechanized, automatic, right? But in India it is only 40%. So if we could able to make this 40% to 80%, the share of agriculture GDP will drastically increase from what it is now 16%, it will increase to some X percentage. Say for if it should be more than at least a quarter, right? If it is more than at least a quarter, the standard of living of more than 65% of Indian people who are living in rural areas will be better, right? So that is why it is very very important to adapt this farm mechanization in agriculture, and government is also focusing extensively through this Atma agriculture technological management authority, and we also have other different means of funds just to increase the mechanization of agriculture. We'll see that, right? So we can also see the positive side of this mechanization, that 1/3 of the global tractors are produced in India. So that is a good sign or good indication that we are moving towards the farm mechanization, because tractors are mostly used for farm mechanization only. Yeah, I also said this point, right? According to World Bank, half of the Indian population will be reside in urban areas, which is only 35% now, right? So because if the rural population is 65%, so obviously urban population will be 30%. In 2011-12 condition, this was as per 2011 census. So this 35% is going to be increased to 50% in coming years, obviously. So in order to cater the needs of this growing urban population, which require urban people try to be more diet conscious, so they require a diversity in the crops. So it is very essential and very important to grow a different diversity of crops as well, apart from just usually growing traditional crops like wheat and rice, right? So in that scenario, also it is very important to adopt all these methods of farm mechanization. And another important thing why we need to go for farm mechanization is, according to World Bank, the percentage of agriculture workers of workforce will decrease from 55% to 25% in 2025. So because the agricultural labor are decreasing in this agriculture sector, so there is it is indicating there that gap should be filled with the machines, right? So that is why it is very important to go for farm mechanization, right? So these are all the 4 important inputs that are crucial in doing agriculture, and we have seen the problems with respect to this inputs of the agriculture, and now we'll see different steps taken by the government to tackle these problems as a whole. First, we have submission on agriculture mechanization. So I have just now told this submission on agriculture mechanization to increase the percentage of farm mechanization. Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, it was there for the overall development of farmer, to increase the standard of living of farmers, we can say Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Then also government is giving MSP, minimum selling price, to enhance the income of the farmer. And to counter this fertilizer use, we bought this National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture, and Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, and National Mission for Oil Palm. This is particularly a tailored scheme for increasing the production of oil palm, as more than 70% of our oil requirements we are importing, more than 70%. So to stop this excess import bill, government has taken this scheme to as a National Mission for Oil Seeds, Oil Palm, to increase the production of oil seeds by means of giving subsidies and all, and bringing green revolution to the eastern India. National Mission on Agriculture Extension and Technology under ATMA, Atma, that is Agriculture Technology Management Agency. And also we know regarding irrigation, government has bought Krishi Sinchai Yojana. In this we have 3 different components. Component A talks about the per drop more crop. Component B talks about Har Kheti Ko Pani, water to each field, and watershed management is another important component of this Krishi Sinchai Yojana. And also government has bought this soil health card to monitor the overall profile of the soil, and interest subvention scheme and agriculture credit through Kisan credit card. And PM Kisan also we can write here in terms of credit. PM Kisan, government is given about 2000 per acre, and PM Fasal Yojana post harvest management. For post harvest management we have this PM Fasal Bima Yojana, and ENAM is agriculture, national agriculture market, linking agriculture produce APMCs, right? So this acts as a national market for purchase and sales of agriculture commodities. So there were few problems regarding this ENAM, like infrastructure issues, mandis are not entirely on virtual market, some software failures are there, pricing system was not adequate, and there is less awareness to the farmers regarding this presence of ENAM. So to tackle these problems, this working group committee has given few solutions. It recommended a single license to be valid across all the states. As of now, it was not the case. For each state, it has separate license system. So if it is merged as a single license system, means person from Punjab, Haryana can sell their rice in any part of the country, like in Hyderabad they can come and sell, if this licensing system is interlinked, right? And persons who are cultivating more fruits in Andhra Pradesh can go to north or northeast and go sell their products, and who are doing organic farming in northeast can come to central part of the India and can do this agriculture, marketing at a greater level. This program has a huge potential, but it has to be unlocked by means of solving each of these problems as mentioned. This infrastructure issues, all the markets are not entirely online, some software issues, glitches are there, pricing system was not adequate, and awareness regarding this ENAM also very less, right? And a single point levy of market should be there. As of now, the market fee was given to be paid by both buyers and seller. If it has to be removed to encourage more people coming and doing business at the same time. And provision for electronic auction as a mode of price discovery should be there. As we are doing bidding for other infrastructure projects, it should be there for that system of auctioning, electronic auctioning should be brought into these agriculture commodities. So that would definitely increase the possibility of more income to the farmers. So this is about various problems that are discussed in the report and the solutions as per that one. So now we'll see about the organic farming, right? So we can use this definition. Organic farming attempts to eliminate external agricultural inputs, especially synthetic or artificial ones, and relies on ecosystem management. So this is the true definition of organic farming. It just attempts to eliminate external agriculture inputs like fertilizers and farm mechanization. That we can do, mechanization we can do, but externally we add pesticides, all these things, right? So it eliminates this external agricultural inputs, especially this artificial one. Artificial means fertilizers, pesticide, anticides and everything, and it relies completely on the ecosystem management, right? So we are not giving anything externally. Whatever the nature has given, we'll use that as a input to the ecosystem and will grow the crops, right? This is the true definition of organic farming. So to promote this organic farming, government has brought this Param Pragat Krishi Vikas Yojana. The main aim is to bring 5 lakh acres under organic farming. So the main purpose of Param Pragat Krishi Vikas Yojana is to bring about 5 lakh acres of land to organic farming. And we have Bharatiya Prakrit Krishi Paddhati. So this is also one more. Prakrit means natural, Krishi means farmer, Paddhati means method, right? So Bharatiya Prakriti Krishi Paddhati. So this is also another important program launched by the government to promote the organic farming and organic value chain development in Northeast region. So this is also another tailored program to increase the organic farming in northeastern region. So this is the definition of organic farming, and these are the schemes launched by the government of India to promote this organic farming. If you know any other schemes related to what we are discussing, please let me know in the comment box so that I can add in this document before sharing. Okay. So next, one more important scheme launched by the government to tackle this climate change on agriculture is National Innovation on Climate Resilient Agriculture. National Innovation on Climate Resilient Agriculture, right? So if you get any question regarding the impact of climate change on agriculture, the data which we are going to discuss now, we can use it directly. Several studies at IARA, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, showed that the rise in 1 degree centigrade has the possibility to lose 4 to 5 million tons of wheat production alone in a year, right? So if the temperature is going to rise by 1 degree, we may expect 4 to 5 million tons of wheat production loss, right? So that is how climate change is going to affect the agriculture. So this we can write with respect to the climate change effect on agriculture. So what are the major push that are taken by the government to counter this climate action on agriculture? We have National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. It means using sustainable practices, sustainable technologies, sustainable methods for farming. We have this NMS, National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture, and we also just now discussed this program, National Innovation on Climate Resilient Agriculture, right? So this works under IARI and ICRISAT. So they work on different technologies and different varieties of crops which are climate resilient. And the government also gives agrometeorological advisories in 12 different languages in India. In 600 districts, they'll give the agrometeorological advisories, like about the data about the weather, data about rainfall, data about possibility of cyclones in coastal areas and whatnot. All the advisories are given on a daily basis through ESSO, Earth System Science Organization. This works under Ministry of Earth Sciences. And Kisan TV channel is also there, where regular updates regarding crop varieties, scientific methodologies to increase the productivity, and everything will be discussed in this channel. And also we have Gramina Krishi Mausam Seva, and Kisan Vignan Kendra is also there. KVKs are also there. The government has set up all this to bring awareness about the change of climate and change of daily weather, to help the farmers to be very prepared. Okay. And if you look at another, so till now we have discussed about the agriculture sector. Now let us talk about animal husbandry and dairying and fishery. So livestock contributes about 25% of agriculture GVA, and it provides employment to about 21 million people. So that is